The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
And welcome back to another edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. This is our second show of the second season, so we've got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got a great show ahead of you today. We've got this one. It features Shamika is returning. If you remember, Shamika was back in our preview days, so you actually do not have access to my interview with Shamika if you are on YouTube or you have access to our regular channel, because that was the preview for the shows, and we did two preview shows, and Shamika was on the first one, and she did a wonderful lettuce wrap for us, and so I had to have her on the show so that we could have her officially documented or enshrined, as it were, into our archives, so that we can have this interview onto the website as well, because she's just been so busy that I haven't been able to catch up. I wasn't able to catch up with her in the first season, so second season I was able to catch up with her, and just in time for the holidays, fortunately. So she's got a concoction that she's going to show us how to create in time for your Thanksgiving festivities, as it were, and we're going to enjoy that. And then we had a guest that was supposed to be on, another guest after her, because I always generally have two guests on the show. However, one guest had to cancel. Boo! So they shall remain unnamed. But what we will do was it gives a perfect opportunity for me to put in an earlier segment that I filmed based on my experiences with Cox Cable versus CenturyLink. So you're going to be able to see that at the second segment, and then at the end of the show, you know how I like to wrap things up. I'm going to give some further commentary as a close of my experiences with the Cox CenturyLink experience. So that's something for you to look forward to. I did promise on this episode that I would be reviewing certain products. However, I was unable to get to those products during this week because it was very busy, so we're going to move that over to next week. We're going to move product review up to the next week's show. Great news that we have to announce for the show, however. Somewhere around the 3rd or the 4th, somewhere around the 5th or the 8th show, somewhere between the 5th or the 8th show, you're going to be noticing a big look to the change of the show. I got wind of this last week, and I was really excited about it, but I didn't want to announce anything until I really felt that I could put it out there and put it on the show. But we are getting a brand new location. We are getting a brand new studio. We've been doing really great work here, and so we are moving on up, and we are moving on over to the Boulevard Mall. Woo! All right. No, I can't say that. I can't say anything about that. I can't say anything about the location.
Only because the lease has not been signed.
So I can't, but I can say we're moving, but I just can't say where.
I'm going to leave this in.
Oh.
I just wanted to bring up that the lease has not been signed.
Okay.
The world could end tomorrow.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, I'll go with that.
Everybody knows until the check clears, it's all bullshit.
Absolutely, okay. That's true. But this is where we have our sights, and this is where I'm envisioning, and you know me with my fortune telling. So, anyway, exactly who am I? Anyway, that's another good segue that leads us to. Yeah, that Locq Fortune guy that you might have heard about somewhere in Las Vegas. I'm the psychic, the local psychic that's licensed to come to you, to your home, to your party, to your special event. I'm the only one in Las Vegas that's actually licensed to do that. So if you're having a party, you're having a special event, or if you have a private reading that you would like to have me do, but you don't necessarily have the time to get to me, well, guess what? I can come to you for tarot, palmistry, numerology. Maybe you need your house cleared, or maybe you would like to have your review a past life and go through a past life regression experience. These are the things that I do. These are the services that I offer. I'm also a published author. I'm the author of the book Vibology, and that is an ebook that's downloadable off of Amazon. It's also downloadable off of your Barnes & Noble sites, as well as Kindle and Macintosh. I'm everywhere. So if you'd like to read more about you, then you'd like to download that book, then you want to go to Amazon, because it's a book about names. It's a book about your name, and it's a book about how your name reflects you and makes you want and do and act the way that you do, and how it also affects others around you. And so if you'd like to have maybe a little bit more information about that boss, that coworker, that lover, well, download my book. Look up their name. Get the information you've been looking for. Anyway, so we've got a great show going for you tonight. Like I said, I don't have anything in regards to the way of prizes. However, we do have something going on in the mix. Nobody actually claimed the prize for the first season. So it is going to be carrying over into this second season. So if you remember, that's a virtual reality recorder that we got up for the grabs, guys. And so all you have to do is you see a show where you see me wearing the shirt that I wore in a show before, and then you post the show that was on onto my fan page, then you've got yourself a VR recorder. But that doesn't count if it's something that I wore last season, but I generally won't wear something that's last season. But anyway, it would have to be this season, and it's during this season. And if you see, like for example, if you see me wear this shirt before, and no, I did not wear this last season either, then you say, "Hey, Locq, I caught you. You're wearing that shirt." You post it, you got yourself a VR recorder. Don't have it with me today, but I'll bring it in again some other time when I want to do another tease about it and get you know about it. In the meantime, though, I do have some pretty cool things up for grabs here. Looks like Christmas Cantina is having something over at the Orleans Hotel and Casino Arena, and I've got myself 4 tickets to go see that. Dropped it off to me in an envelope here, so I'm thinking there's 4 tickets. There should be 4 tickets here. Yep, 4 tickets. Okay, so we got 4 tickets here to go see them, and I'm thinking they're not in the nosebleed area. And we're going to give those away, and you're going to find out how you can win those at the end of the show. So if you want to pick up these tickets, and they're going to be for Monday, October the 9th, 2017. So that's Monday, October the 9th, first Monday in October, I'm thinking. So you'd like to go see this, then you're going to want to hold on towards the end of the show. In the meantime, we've got coming up next the amazing cooking stylings of Miss Shamika, and we're going to find out what she's been up to. And then after that, we're going to talk about Cox Cable. That's it for this segment, and I'll be right back after this. This is Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe.
Hey, this is Mingo from Mingo Kitchen and Lounge. Come downtown to my space, my restaurant, at 1017 South 1st Street in the Las Vegas Art District inside of Art Square. A couple of things we have going on is happy hour. That's from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, except for First Friday. Sorry about that. And we're actually going to feature a summer happy hour, which will be 3 to 7 p.m., which is June 1st now through August 31st. So we're actually extending it an hour. And so you can join us for that extra hour of cocktails, food, and fun. Tuesdays, we have Taco Tuesday. We're starting that June 20th. And that'll be $2 tacos. We're going to feature a special taco, and it'll be only $2 for the purchase of any alcoholic beverage. And Saturdays, you can see Locq in person and get a free complimentary reading at our Psychic Saturday brunch. And that's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And welcome back to this edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. I have with me, back again for the very first time, Shamika. Hey,
Hello, how are you?
doing, sweetheart? Oh, awesome.
Good to see you. Finally glad to catch up with you again.
I know. It's always good to see you again, but it's been such a while that we've been able to catch up.
I know. I've been all over the place.
Well, hopefully we're going to work on getting you as a regular on the show, because I love it when you come on. You always have such inventive and creative ideas, and it looks like you've upped your game this time. For those who, if you didn't get a chance, go to the YouTube channel to get a look at the preview of Shamika when she made her lettuce wrap. That was absolutely amazing segment. I got a lot of rave reviews about it. Really great.
Good.
And looks like you got something else going on here. So what you got going on with us today?
Okay, so fall season, if anybody knows me, I live for fall season, especially
Awesome.
Halloween. So
Well, this is perfect then. Perfect timing.
Yeah, what I've got here is that perfect occasion for any parties. This is a drink, like a hot cider. So this is a spiced apple cider. And
Yum.
it's got,
Love apple cider.
it's really simple to make. Honestly, it'll take you maybe 25 minutes to make. You can make this the night before, cool it down, put it in the refrigerator, and then take it to your party the next day if need be. But it's really simple.
Excellent idea. Excellent for parties. This is an excellent thing to bring to a party.
Yeah, it's perfect, temperature outside today. It's a good 80 degrees. Sorry for the rest of you guys.
Yeah, in Vegas, we're really suffering with
But
this 80
when it
degree
does
weather.
start to get down to the low 40s and 30s, is definitely keep this recipe in mind. So, what we started off with was a apple cider, whatever your favorite is. I just picked some of these stuff up from my local grocery, which everybody knows Sprouts. That's where I like to shop.
Love Sprouts. Yay, Sprouts.
And what you can do this if you don't have a crock pot. You can also do it on the stove in a pot. And you can measure out, this only holds 2 cups. So what I did in this one is I have 2 cups of the apple cider. I put it in here. And what you'll add to it is you can pick up these from most of your local grocery stores, and it is a tea bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can use this for when you're infusing
seen those.
stock, so you don't have
Yes.
to fish out, the herbs and spices afterwards. What you'll add in here is I have mulling spice. This is a real great mix. It's got cloves in it. It's got allspice in it.
And what is it called again?
It's a mulling spice.
Okay, mulling spice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So what you
I think
do
he's
is you
getting
can
close
put
up,
a tablespoon of this inside of your tea bag.
Okay.
Also, you're going to add in some fresh cloves. I would say 3 is probably more than enough. I also have star anise. I don't know if you're familiar with the.
Oh, of course I
star
am.
anise.
That's what's made in liquid.
Smells great. Yes, it's like a black licorice. It's not.
Yes.
Don't worry, for those that don't like black licorice, you're not going to get that licorice.
It's
Taste
actually
to it.
funny.
Yeah.
It smells exactly like black licorice, so you smell, but it does not. The taste really
It does
doesn't
not
translate.
taste. Yeah, it smells
to-
amazing. So you'll take 2 of those. You put it in your bag.
It doesn't smell amazing.
And then also what you can do is you're going to zest 1 lemon and you're going to zest 1 orange. If you do not have a zester, you can also peel off the skin of your oranges. Just make sure you take off that white part of the rind because it will make it bitter.
Okay.
So that's important when you do that. Also, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 apple. You can quarter it, just take out the seeds, and all of it is going into your crock pot. And you can let it sit there till it gets ready to simmer. And then once it's nice and hot and simmering, you can turn it off, and then you can add in your favorite tea. I'm using this is a chai rooibos tea.
Okay, so then what you would do is you would just boil up the tea, or boil
So
up the
kind of
tea
like when you're
separately?
making tea and you get the liquid hot, you can put the tea bags in it,
Oh, okay.
and then just let it steep. So you'll let that sit there for at least a good 10 minutes until it draws out, the fragrance and stuff inside the tea.
Oh,
And this
okay.
is great. It's got a nice mix in it. It's got ginger in it. It's got a little bit of cinnamon. It's a good mix. But Yogi, this is a really good brand of tea to use. They have
Yeah, I like the products that you're using. I also like the way that the apple cider is organic as well. That's
I
important.
try to do organic. Another cool note with the spices, a lot of people think that these are expensive to get.
They're
They
not.
aren't. If you go
No.
to especially like a Mexican market, you can get them in like little smaller quantities
Yes,
for pennies.
I love Marketon. Marketon has a space for them for that. Actually, a lot of these supermarkets do have a space for these, but you are absolutely right in regards to the greater variety. You'll find the Hispanic supermarkets have the greater
Yeah.
variety. that'll actually have its own section. Whereas your Smiths and your Albertsons, they have a section, but it's very, very limited in regards to selection, where you'll find a very vibrant selection of spices like that available.
Yep. So once this is all ready, you'll take out your bag, discard it. I'm sorry. And then also you need to add in 2 cinnamon sticks. And then it'll all sit in together. And once it's all done, you remove that. You remove the apple. And what you're left with is this really nice, warm, hearty drink. And it's delicious when it's cold outside. And I don't know, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I like teas, and this drink is awesome.
Well, I tell you, I just stopped
fragrant.
off at 7-Eleven on my way up here, and I picked up a coffee, and I was drinking it. So I don't have a hard time, because it's very interesting in Western culture. It is very commonplace to drink or imbibe something cold when it is hot in order to cool yourself down, or to drink and imbibe something warm when it is cold, to drink something down to warm yourself up. But in Eastern tradition, it's actually the opposite of that. In Eastern tradition, if it's hot, they will drink a hot tea or a hot coffee in order to regulate their temperature, because your body will not get any hotter.
Yeah.
And then when it's cold, that's when they will actually drink cold drinks, because that also will regulate your temperature to keep you at the level of cold of the drink, rather than colder than it actually is. And so when I learned that, I still haven't adapted to the whole cold one yet, but I have.
It's
really
in my blood.
to
I'm
the
originally
warm,
from
right.
Colorado, so it's in my blood, you know?
That's right. I was at Colorado recently, and I appreciate you giving me a shout out and giving me some tips before I went to Colorado.
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciated
beautiful
that.
out there. I love it. I miss it. You know, I think when I'm old and gray and it's time to retire, I'll definitely be coming back to Colorado.
It's such beautiful. I mean,
I
really,
miss our mountains.
I think we're going to go back there every year just because
Check
of
out
that.
something
That just
new.
started off
Yeah.
a wonderful tradition. I really believe it.
It is. It's beautiful up there. You just have to experience it.
Absolutely.
You have to
Well, speaking of
experience it.
traditions,
Okay, so once you're ready, a great way you can serve this is you can add in just a little cinnamon stick. So if you want to try it that way, you can. And then
I love that, because that's the traditional way, and I was wondering if you were going to put the cinnamon stick in there.
Yeah, I was going to put the cinnamon stick in there.
That's the tradition.
And also a great way to spike it, if you want to spike it, you can make this pot and leave it as is. And then for the adults, if you're partying, if you guys want to spike
I don't know
it.
if y'all noticed that my mug automatically just started
Myers,
moving slowly that way.
the Myers rum. So this is a Jamaican rum. I really like
man,
this
we
rum.
like the Jamaica, man. We like it there over in Jamaica.
You can do. You can
Want
do.
to buy some smoke?
You want to buy some? Have I got something for you?
Captain Morgan works well too. The spiced rum. So what do you want? You want to do one? You want two? You want me to hit you up with two?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You got to be able to, enjoy the
Right.
experience.
2
So,
shots of vodka.
John, you can stop drooling over there. We're going to get you yours. Don't worry, the break is coming.
I'm gonna do one for myself.
Right.
And then, to give it that nice butter rum, we're taking a whole nother
what is
turn.
this?
We're taking a whole nother turn. So I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but basically all this is brown sugar and butter, and you cream it together. And what I did is put it in a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can
So
also
you
use.
created these?
Yeah, and then you can just pipe them out.
Can
Once
we
you're
get a
done
spec-
creaming
Can we
it,
get a close-up of that?
you cream it out. You put it in a piping bag. I used a star tip. And all it is
Show
is
us
a
the piping
one
bag.
stick.
Bring the piping bag over
One
here.
stick of here, we'll do it like this. So it's just a little piping bag. It's got the tip on it, and you just once you're done creaming it and you put it out,
Right.
it makes these nice little stars, just like this, and then you can freeze them
Okay.
and then put them on the counter. So if people want to add that nice little butter,
That is a wonderful, wonderful little holiday touch there.
Yeah.
That's great.
And this is just one stick of butter and then half a cup of brown sugar packed, and you just put it in your mixer. And then I also added in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And
Oh,
then
okay.
you just-
So
yeah.
this is the vanilla extract that you're talking about. So
Yeah.
we get a teaspoon
And this
of
one is a
that.
clear vanilla extract. I like using this one, but you're more than welcome to use the standard vanilla extract. Yeah.
Okay,
And you just cream
awesome.
it together, put it in a piping bag. You just have to make sure you let your butter sit out so it's room temperature so it'll mix real well.
Well, Shamika, if someone wanted to contact you with more specifics about this, how would they contact? Do you have a fan page, a Facebook fan page?
You know what? I'm in the workings of trying to figure out the whole Instagram. I have one. I have
Right,
it set up. I
okay.
just need to get it tweaked and put
Right,
together right.
right.
For right now, I am on Facebook, just first and last name, Shamika Garba. You're more than welcome to send me a message if any questions or any recipe ideas that you're looking for, you need help with anything. I'm all ears.
That would be really great if you could post this recipe also onto your Facebook page, so that way they could have that to look.
Absolutely,
That would be
absolutely,
great.
absolutely.
But this is awesome. Thank you so much. And you also are available for catering for private events, aren't you?
I haven't done anything in a while, but I can do. I could do private parties. So I do more of like smaller appetizer stuff, not necessarily like buffet. So if you have like small parties coming up and you need any help with, smaller parties, nothing over maybe 50 would be ideal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So intimate affairs.
A little bit intimate affairs,
Intimate
yeah,
gatherings
yeah.
and affairs.
You can get
Okay.
more creative if you don't get too involved with the masses, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Hope you like this one.
Oh yeah, man, that is some good.
You like that one?
Yeah, that's some good rum, man.
I'll get one for you too, John.
That is a good hot apple cider. Yeah, that is, yes. Thank you so much.
You're
Oh my
welcome.
gosh. Mwah.
You're welcome.
Now tell me, what are you up to? Because you're all over the place, and I love
I
when
am
get a
all
chance
over
to,
the place.
to catch up with you every once in a while and see what it is that you're doing and what you got planned for the future. And
So right now I'm
holidays.
working with some friends, some close friends. They're going to be opening up a new bar, so I'll be taking care of the kitchen. It's going to be GOAT. It's going to be a sports bar. Acronym stands for Greatest of All Time. So
Greatest
be
of all
looking out for
time.
that. That should be opening up sometime within the next month or so, November. They're doing a little bit of construction on the inside right now.
Okay, well, here's a shout out to the guys at GOAT.
I know. Come by and see me. It's going to be
Yes.
tapas style food. So small bites.
You know how I love tapas.
Small bites.
Oh my gosh, you had me at tapas. Oh,
Tapas,
oh,
yeah.
I
I
love.
thought you said topless.
Topless? No, unfortunately.
Come on, we need to put a boom boom. You can't give me good zingers like that without the sound effects ready, John.
So it's going to be located off of Sahara and Valley View, right next to actually Herbs and Rye. So good location.
Okay, I know
really
where
nice
that's at.
location.
That is an excellent location.
Down the street from Phoenix.
and that's
yeah.
near my mom's house.
Oh yeah. So then you have all the time. Would come. I
reason
will
to
call
come
you.
by.
So yeah, we'd love to have you come by and
I
check
would
it out.
love to come by and check it out. Maybe we'll get the crew down and do some filming and everything like that as well.
That would be awesome.
Awesome. Well, also, I understand, I do understand because he's sitting right in front of me, but you have your son here on
I
the
do.
show.
I have my little man.
Yeah. Well, would you like him to come
You
up
want
and
to come
say
say hi?
Hey, Avi, come on up. Yeah. Right on.
Say hello, babe.
Hi.
You gotta come way over here.
Yeah,
come,
right here.
Come
yeah.
in the middle.
There you go. Okay. How are you doing?
Good.
Great. Well, the last show that we were on, I actually got a chance to talk to your mom a little bit about you. So it's really good that we actually had a chance to have you on the show as well.
Are you being shy?
That's okay. He's just listening. I actually have a show on where I have my two nieces on the show. So if you get a chance, and you can ask your mom after you see this show, whether or not you can see the show with my two nieces on it. She'll
That'd
look
be
out for you.
fun.
She'll show it to you.
That'd be fun. Maybe next time I'm gonna have you come up and you're gonna do the cooking all by yourself.
Yeah.
Show them, cause you know how to cook. I know you know.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Avi. He's adorable.
Hi and bye.
That's it. Well, that's okay. At least you have it on film for the
Future,
sake of,
right?
Exactly. We can show this to 18-year-old Javi.
And show him, yeah.
I'm
You
sure
had
he'll
your
enjoy it.
little appearance, right?
Exactly. It's
He'll be
15
back-
minutes
he'll
of
be
fame
back.
already. Great. Well, great. And I hope to have you back on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I'm
right.
excited because fall season, I'm definitely going to be cooking up in the kitchen. So I will be
And
working
I would
on-
like to get cooking on that segment, on a cooking segment with you for my show. So
That
that'd
would be awesome.
We'll get working on that too.
I
as well.
would love that.
Okay. Well, that's it for this segment of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't stay tuned. We'll be right back with some insight on Cox Cable and CenturyLink and the services that they provide. In the meantime, thanks a lot for tuning in, and thank you so much, Shamika, for coming
Thank
in.
you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That's it.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. So it's not a bad idea every now and then to check your battery. If you don't know how to do it, have somebody check it for you. Just a visual inspection can tell you a lot about your battery. So as we can see here, this battery's got a hold down. It's nice and tight. The cables are on. They don't look bad. We've got a cover. We don't see any corrosion. Everything's kind of tight, looking good. A little bit of dirt, that's normal, but nothing's leaking. No real cause for alarm here. So that's a good sign. Doesn't mean it's good, but at least visually we know that it's intact. Okay, so we're looking at a battery here that shows signs of corrosion. We want to test that battery to make sure it's good. Usually when they're getting like this, there's going to be a problem, leaking some acid at the top. We ran the test and we find out it has 396 cold cranking amps, but the battery requires 650. So it's just not enough. The battery is going to go soon. Better to know now than later. Okay, so the benefits of checking the cable is because this cable's rotted out. What we'll find is this is the problem, not the battery. So it'll save you from buying a battery, still having the no start, only to find out that it's a cable. This type of corrosion is common in diesels. Okay, so we're getting ready to jump the car, but we have to have some battery cables. And we have to check those too before we hook them up to the battery. So here we have our standard set of battery cables. We just look them over, see if the ends are frayed, if everything's connected all right. Everything looks good here. Wouldn't hurt to check the rest of the cable just to make sure the dog didn't get it and chew it up. We have red and black. Red's positive, black's negative. You always want to hook the positive up first and then the negative. And I'll show you how that's done right now. Keep these off to the side so they're not touching each other. Hook up your positive. You can find that right here by the plus sign, the negative sign. Plus is positive, red. Make sure that's securely hooked up. Keeping these away from each other, hook up your negative cable. Just got to fight it on there, figure out a way to get it. Wiggle it a little bit so it ensures a good connection. Now you're transferring voltage. If I hit these two together, we're going to spark. Kind of want to avoid that. Won't kill you. Kind of fun. A lot of people think if they can turn the headlights on, the battery's fine. That's not always the case. It takes very little amperage to turn a light on, but it takes a lot of amperage to start the starter. I recommend checking the charging system every oil change. At Sun Valley Automotive, there's never a charge for that. This is Crazy Terry with your car care tip of the day.
And welcome back to the conclusion of this edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. I keep remembering I have to change things up a little bit on my entries and my exits, you know. John tries to remind me of that. But anyway, so this has been a great show, a wonderful show. We had the wonderful Miss Shamika on. Yay! And she did some great work with this apple cider. If you're not noticing from the slur in my words, then you will as this segment goes on.
It is good stuff.
Good stuff, yes. We got during the break, we were able to get Sean a drink of this, and let's just say we're having a merry old time right now. So wish you were here. If you ever like to come down to the studio and watch us film here at the studio, then we do film live, and it's every Thursday from 4:30 to 5:30. Contact me via our fan page or via my own fan page, Fortune on Wheels, or via the Vegas Vibe fan page, and let me know that you'd like to come down and sit in the studio and watch, and I'll tell you how to get here and where we're located. So anyway, so that was a wonderful last segment that we just had with Shamika. And then the second segment after that was the segment, of course, talking about Cox and CenturyLink. And, of course, I wanted to expand on that one just a little bit because I went into a good thorough explanation of it in the last break. So I'm not going to rehash a lot of stuff. But let's just say that the conclusion of my experience with this, and this is my takeaway in regards to both of these companies, in regards to why, even though Cox does provide the superior service, why I still would go with CenturyLink at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, after all was said and done, after I'd done everything I needed to do with Cox to conclude my business with them, and then everything that I needed to do with CenturyLink to start my business with them and everything like that, and the whole billing process. Before I get my bill from CenturyLink, I get a bill from Cox. Bear in mind, if you recall last segment, I took the cable modem home, realized I was not going to be able to install it, and then the very next day, which I think might fit in there somewhere in there, a 2-week period, but the very next day drove all the way back out to Blue Diamond again and gave them back and returned it back. Well, anyway, they still, however, felt it good and sound business practice to send me a bill for $97, which, as any responsible person does, of course, I know the bill is a fluke, and of course, some people tear it up and throw it away, but it's like, it's the whole experience, and you heard about the whole experience in prior episodes, so I'm not going to go into that. So I am compelled to call them about this, and I called them about this, and I am told by the customer representative, after being on hold, of course, because I when I call and the person answers the phone, I just politely inquire as to whether or not Cox as a company had lost its mind, without yelling or anything like that. It was just a question. It wasn't an accusation. I was just wondering because of the bill. And then I explained to the person very cordially, because I'm not mad at the person. I'm just trying to wonder why I'm having to take time out of my day to address this, but I'm telling them about it. Anyway, after I get to this point, the point of getting an answer in regards to this, after being put on hold, I am told that no, I do not owe a bill of $97. As a matter of fact, I have a credit of $1.08 that is going to be mailed to me in the form of a check that I should be receiving. While she's explaining this to me, I have to be very honest with you. When I'm dealing with customer service with large companies, I'm just trying to get business done. I am as polite as possible until I've gotten the business done. Once I've gotten said business done, I am done. She honestly had lost me, and lost me in a happy way, at the no, you do not owe us $97. I was on my way out of the conversation. When she said that she was going to be sending me a check, that the company was going to send me a check for $1.08, the conversation was done. I hung up the phone. Suffice it to say, I've still not received said check. That's the end of my experience with Cox. Now, let's switch over to CenturyLink. I told you about my experiences with CenturyLink before. The bill comes for CenturyLink. Bill with CenturyLink is $58. $58.97. Now, short term, who do you think gets my attention? Definitely CenturyLink, right? Definitely gets my attention, CenturyLink. But like I said before, I'm still going to be paying $55 a month for CenturyLink. And not only that, but with CenturyLink, I'm paying a premium price for a slower speed. I'm not getting the fast speed that I should be getting, and I'm paying much more. Okay, fine. But however, let me say this. CenturyLink was at least upfront with me all the way. All the way through this process, it was upfront. Okay? May not like big corporation, but at least it was upfront with me. Now, let me say this on the other side with Cox. My journey with Cox started with a commercial that said that I could get Wi-Fi in my home for $29 a month. By the time Cox was done with me, I was at $49 a month, making a $25 deposit, and if I had went through with my negotiations with Cox, I would have also paid an additional $75 deposit to get it installed. Big price up front, shady advertising, closing it down, shady things closing it down as well. Superior speed, but why do I feel like I'm dealing with a snake oil salesperson? And why do I have to get that feeling like I'm dealing with a snake oil salesperson? And would I mind paying a little bit more and feel like I'm at least dealing with the person who's looking me in the eye and saying, well, this is what it is? Yeah, I think I'd rather deal with the person that's telling me it is what it is at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you've got to make up your mind. I mean, because you're still going to get the same bill. So they can't mess with whatever monthly agreement that you agree with once that gets implemented. They will try once a year to up you. Well, Cox will. The buzz around the house currently is CenturyLink is not going to. That $55 is going to be the $55 a month I will be paying when I'm 1,468. They don't realize that I will be around at that time. If that company is around at that time, I'll be looking into it. And if the show is around at that time, I'll let you know about it then. Anyway, that's it for this edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. Can't wait to see you next week. We got a great things going on because it's the beginning of October. And you know what that is? It's the beginning of Wicca Month. So we're going to have some really, really interesting guests. We're going to get witchy up in here. I'll see you then. And that's it for this edition.
Hey, this is Mingo from Mingo Kitchen and Lounge. Come downtown to my space, my restaurant, at 1017 South First Street in the Las Vegas Art District inside of Art Square. A couple of things we have going on is happy hour. That's from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, except for First Friday. Sorry about that. And we're actually going to feature a summer happy hour, which will be 3 to 7 p.m., which is June 1st now through August 31st. So we're actually extending it an hour. And so you can join us for that extra hour of cocktails, food, and fun. Tuesdays, we have Taco Tuesday. We're starting that June 20th. And that'll be $2 tacos. We're going to feature a special taco, and it'll be only $2 with the purchase of any alcoholic beverage. And Saturdays, you can see Locq in person and get a free complimentary reading at our Psychic Saturday brunch. And that's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And this is Locq Fortune back with Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe to give you what I would consider to be a consumer alert in regards to whether or when you are looking to get internet. Because it's not a matter of if, but it is a matter of when, unless you already have an internet provider which you like. And if you do, then Goddess bless you. But if you are looking for something and you are looking for a service that you think is reliable, then you're going to be in a place that I was at, and I just want to share this story with you. I did my research. I am a person who I like Wi-Fi, and I like to be able to go where I wish to go because I have a laptop. My laptop is my main source, so I like to be able to take that wherever I go. So for the past couple of years, I've had no problem getting Wi-Fi and getting a hotspot that I could take with me and go wherever I wanted to. Well, this year became more difficult, and also because of the incept of the show, I decided I need a higher speed connection. So, voila! I decided that I'm going to go talk to Cox, and I'm going to go talk to CenturyLink, and I'm going to go talk to DirecTV and a couple of them and see if there's any internet services that they can provide me. Well, I get this little mailer in the mail while I'm doing this from CenturyLink offering me internet services at $45 a month. Whoa, sounds like a great price, doesn't it, John? I thought it was a great price. Anyway, then I get, feel free to chime in if you want, but this is a conversation. Anyway, so then I go to Cox. I go to Cox online with my phone, as most of us millennials will do. We'll go on our phone and we will look for services. And so I saw Cox, did the whole thing, application online, let me know, oh, you are great, you are loved, we love you at Cox, and you know, we've got a modem that's going to be shipping right out to you, right? The modem featured Wi-Fi, which was good for me because at least I'd be able to have Wi-Fi in my house. And so I was like, okay, great, I'm happy. Forgot all about CenturyLink, but I don't hear anything from Cox. And this is why I'm trying to encourage everyone, if you're thinking about new business, don't do new business with Cox. Their new business sector is not being run by a business. It's not being run by a business. Because if I told you that I deliver pizzas And you say, okay, great, I'd like to have a pizza delivered to me. I was like, okay, well, great. Well, first, before you get the pizza delivered to me, you have to come down to where we make the pizzas and apply. Okay, and then I'll go down and apply. Well, this is where the story gets more involved. Because after 2 or 3 days, I don't hear anything from Cox. I'm checking on the email. I'm checking my emails, and it just keeps saying pending. 2 days later, I get a letter from Cox saying that my application didn't get approved because of my credit. Now, bear in mind, I did a credit app on the phone. I did the credit app through the phone, and it approved me. But for some reason, Cox decided that I was not credit worthy and said that it stopped it because I needed to pay a deposit. Okay, great. What's the deposit? No mention of what the dollar amount of the deposit is. I have no idea what this mysterious deposit that I have to pay is. Nothing. Okay, great. I don't know what's going on with Cox. Not sure what's going on with CenturyLink. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. I decided, you know what? Let me be proactive and drive over to Cox. Find out where they're located. Well, guess what, folks? They're located on Blue Diamond, okay? If you're not located near Blue Diamond, you're in for a drive, okay? Because they moved from Martin Luther King. If you guys are old time Las Vegas, you know they used to be located on Martin Luther King. Well, they moved from there, and now they're located on Blue Diamond. It was quite a journey for me, okay?
They're also on Rancho.
Oh, on Rancho. Rancho on
in
what?
the 95.
Oh, Rancho in the 95. I didn't know that. I Googled it. Google only gave me the one location, so I did that. So I drive over there, and I come into the store, and I just feel sad. I feel sadness because there are so many people there that are just waiting, and they're just standing there. And most of these people have jobs. Okay, fortunately, I'm an entrepreneur. I decide that I want to go someplace. I have a lot of time to be at that place. So I go there. I'm like, okay, cool. But I see people there with their kids, everything, you know, whatever. And the line's not moving very quickly. Anyway, they finally get to me. Oh, Mr. Holmes, no problem with your account. It was just the fact that there was a deposit that needed to be paid. I was like, well, what's the deposit? $25. $25, ladies and gentlemen. They could have sent me in the note, $25. Could you call us and pay this? Or could you contact us and pay? No. I had to go to them to find out that if not, then I would not have a cable modem or anything. They was not going to send anything. It was this $25 that was stopping them from doing business with me. It was preventing them from being able to collect future money from me. They allowed $25 to stop them. I need this point to get clear. This is why I'm saying this is not a good business practice, because I can't see myself doing that to anybody in business. Anyway, I get my modem. I head home. I'm happy because I'm thinking I opt for the self-install, because if I had decided that I wanted them to come down and install, then I would have had to pay another $75 for that. I said, no, that's okay, that's fine. I didn't want to go into the reasons why at that time, because I was not upset with them at the time. So I said, no, that's okay. I'll just go home and do the self-installation. I go home and I find out that the townhouse that I own has a very old infrastructure. The infrastructure, the person who owned it before me had decided to use the cable infrastructure instead to give outside access to an antenna, which I later took control of, and I have my own outside antenna because I don't believe in paying for TV. If you are going to get it, this is a definite blurb for USA antennas, and Mr. Antenna USA. I love Mr. Antenna USA. He came out, $127, installed the antenna through my cable access, and I've been wonderful for 7 years until now. I decide that I want to put internet in, and I realized that I can't use the cable because I'm already using the outside cable. So I call them up, and they're like, yes, sir, well, regardless, it's still going to cost you $75. I'm like, well, you know what? I own this property. And because I own this property, I'm not sure that I'm willing to make that type of investment in your company. Because let's face it, folks, I paid the $75 for them to come onto my property to put their internet cable. This is called critical thinking. You're stuck with them, right? They've got the inside, outside. They've already put all that in there. And then every time they decide that they want to re-up on you or raise your rates, you're going to be thinking about, that's $75 that you paid to get them. So you might as well just go along with it. No, I said, no. See ya. Hate to be ya. I'm done. I'm out. Cancel me out. They said, okay, fine. Cancel me out. They didn't even offer me a counter offer. Came back here, did the show, talked to my buddy John here. John gave me some really good insight. He said, hey, look, I told him I'd been to CenturyLink. CenturyLink offered me a deal. It's not a great deal. It's $55 a month. With Cox, I would have been paying $48.98 a month, albeit I would have been paying a $25 deposit. With CenturyLink, no deposit, no installation charge whatsoever, but I'm paying $55 a month. They get me in the long run. They bleep me out slowly. Right? Right. Okay, fine. No problem. I talked to John. John says, well, look, Cox gave me the free installation, all that, the whole 9 yards when I went to them and I told them that I was going to go with CenturyLink. I was like, okay, great. That sounded like a really, really good strategy to me, John. So I did that. I went up, drove back up there very next day, okay, with my modem. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't the very next day because I talked to you that day. Got home. Before I'm about to leave, I decided to check my mail, John. I checked my mail and there's a letter from Cox in the mail. Guess what it is, John? Come on. You don't have to be psychic.
It was a notice that you needed to pay $25, or it was hey, we'd love to have you as a customer. Here's a freebie, or...
It was a notice about the $25.
Yeah, okay.
That I'd already paid.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. Get in the car, drive up there. The place is even more packed than it was before. Okay, I go up and you know how you go into these telecommunication places now,
yeah.
And they have this little thing that you have to, you enter in your phone number and all that stuff. There's so many people, it was down. Okay, they had a guy standing there. He's like, well, what's your name? And we'll put you up and everything like that, right? Now, stupid me, on my way over to Cox, I decided I was going to have lunch and then go to Cox. Okay, I go in. He's like, okay, I got you. It's going to be about a 33-minute wait. I could have waited and had lunch, but I'm already full now, so you've got to capture an audience. I have no way out. I have nowhere to go. Right? So, all right, I'm there. I wait my 33 minutes later, go up to the young lady. I said, yes, you know what? I've been thinking about this, and I think I'm going to go with CenturyLink because you guys are going to charge me a $75 deposit. They're not going to charge me a deposit to put the installation fee. You guys are also going to charge me a $25 deposit. They're not charging me any kind of deposit. They are a little bit more on the monthly. They're, and I'd rather go with you guys because I think you guys are faster because they admit that they're slower. But with all of that, I think it would just be better if I did that. She said, okay, fine. Took the box, put it behind, no argument, nothing, okay? She's like, I'll get your refund back to you. Bap, 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 bap. Was there anything else? After 30 minutes, I didn't even say thank you or anything. I looked at her, turned, and walked out. I did not say bye, did not pass go. I just left. Right? Okay. So that leaves me with my only option, which is now CenturyLink, which is going to be coming out on my birthday to put my cable in. Well, the day before my birthday, I get one more present from Cox Cable. Now, let's bear in mind, I had returned everything about 3 days ago, and now we're at the 5th of September. And I go to my mailbox, over the mailbox, and here's another letter from Cox. Guess what this is?
Love to have you back.
No.
No?
Wouldn't that be what you would expect after someone who was a potential person that you almost had canceled on you? I mean, and you as a businessman, Wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you say, hey, let's send this guy a welcome back. So let's see if we can get him back or something. Let's Guess what it is? It's a bill. It's a bill for $97
For your first month?
for my first month. Can you believe that? $97, that is due and payable.
Yeah.
I need to pay this by and the payable date, everything like that. Okay, I like to put things aside because I like to think about this sometimes, especially when something really gets me. Like to hear, like, let me put this down. I don't want to react immediately. Let me just think about this, right? So I put it down. I thought for one day, and then while CenturyLink is coming out, I said, you know what? I got nothing better to do. I'm sitting around here in the house. Let me call these fools. So I called them, and the first person that comes in, he's like, thank you for calling Cox Communications. How can I help you? I said, yeah, I was just trying to find out whether or not your company had lost its mind. He said, well, how can I help you with that? Why is that, sir? And I explained to him everything, and I told him about the bill. He said, oh, well, you're actually in the wrong department, but let me transfer you to the other department. More of my time that they're taking up. As if driving to Blue Diamond and back twice was not enough of my time. Now, because there's this $97 bill looming over my head, I need to give him some more of my time. Finally, after about 5-6 minutes, a young lady gets on the phone. Thank you for calling Cox Communications. This is whoever you are. How may I help you? I'd like to know whether or not your company has lost its mind. Well, why would you say that, sir? I again explained everything to her. She said, oh, well, no, sir. Actually, you don't owe us anything. I'm looking at your records after you jump through the hoops. Okay? Make sure that you have your phone number, your name, the blood type of your firstborn, where your mother was born, and whether or not your father is or is not an illegal immigrant. And if so, have green card numbers ready. Then you will finally be able to access your Cox account. So after we went through all that merriment, then she tells me, oh no, you don't owe anything. As a matter of fact, we owe you $1.09, which we will be sending out to you in the form of a check, which I will be more than happy to bring here on the show to show you once I receive said check. Meanwhile, Mr. CenturyLink arrives. He calls me first. He's supposed to arrive anytime between 10 and 3. He calls me at about 9:15. No, 9:45. I'm sorry, being dyslexic. Says that he's in the area. I'm like, okay, this is going good. After I get off the phone with Cox, I happen to hear a gentleman talking very loudly outside of my door. But it's not outside of my door. It's actually more located across on my other neighbor's property that I hear this person talking, but in such a way that I can tell that it's a CenturyLink person. To which I go outside my door and I look across and I see the CenturyLink man installing my stuff onto my neighbor who lives across from me's property. I felt the need to correct him, and so I did. Of course, some of the damage had already been done, but what it should have been a 15-minute installation, he had turned into about a maybe hour installation because of the process that he had started versus what he should have been doing because he was lost. So, but CenturyLink did get installed. I am up and running. Hopefully none of you there in Facebook land noticed anything. I don't think any of you did, even though I was running my hotspot off of 2 different phones at the time just to keep my internet up while I was doing all of this. And this is my preamble in regards to this. I will be taking this 30-day period with CenturyLink, who have not billed me yet. They have not sent me a bill. I don't know. It could be coming any day now. I don't know. But I will be spending this next 30 days to find out whether or not there is a better internet service out there. I seriously doubt it. We as the consumer are literally fucked. Okay? But if I find something, I'll let you know. If I find something anywhere near, and believe me, I will be doing my due diligence on this and getting back to you. Other than that, this is Locq Fortune with Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. I'm out.
Good vibrations,